Hey guys, Nick here. So maybe you're thinking of starting up a YouTube channel, or maybe you're wanting to make some home movies, but you have absolutely no idea what equipment to use or what settings to use. It's all very confusing to you. Well, stick around because I'm going to show you a very simple, economical, and good quality video setup that I'm actually filming on right now that you can use as well. If you stick around to the end, I will also share with you the settings that I use to keep everything consistent across the timeline. So yeah, hopefully you'll get some value out of this video. If you do, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. So first of all, I'm going to go into the equipment that I'm currently filming on right now. And yeah, let's just cut over to that. The first piece of equipment I use is this Joby GorillaPod. Now this is fantastic as the legs are flexible and it enables you to mount the camera wherever you want. The second piece of equipment I use is this bracket that can be mounted onto the Joby GorillaPod. So if you twist this knob here, you can actually have your phone portrait mode for social media posts or landscape like this, and you can just adjust the height and clamp in your phone with the top bracket. Next piece of equipment is essential is the mobile phone itself, and I use a Xiaomi Pocophone F1. You've got the two rear cameras here, and on the front you've got the 20 megapixel front facing camera. So that's the phone I'm using to film this video. And the last piece of equipment is the Rode SmartLav Plus. So this lav mic just clips onto your t-shirt or your shirt, and you make sure that you're using the 3 rings rather than 2 rings, as this just goes into your mobile phone. So what does the setup look like once it's all put together? Here we go. So I've screwed in the Joby GorillaPod into the bottom of the clamp and put the phone into the clamp, and here you can see I've inserted the Rode lav mic into the microphone or headphone jack of the mobile phone. Very simple, very easy to set up, and yeah, good for vlogging. What does it look like when it's all stood up and ready to rock? Well, here we go. Just adjust the legs out as you need to, and this is what your final vlogging setup will look like. And this is the setup that I'm using right here, right now to film this scene, and I think it's turning out pretty good. What I usually use is my Sony a6500 with the Sigma 16mm f1.4 DC-DN art lens. Now this isn't economical, it's not that easy if you don't know anything about cameras. But what I'm going to show you using this camera right now is the setup that I've got to film myself. So let's just switch over to this camera. So here we are. Yep, this is the setup. I'm filming with the front-facing camera right here. This is so that I can actually frame myself. As you can see, I know where the corners are. There's one here and there's one up here. So when you're referring to like infographics or anything like that on the screen, you know exactly where to point. But obviously you've got to make sure that you're looking into the camera, so you're looking at the audience, not off to the side. And then here I've got the lav mic, not actually attached to myself. I've got it balanced on top of the dead cat of my Movo shotgun mic, which is what I use with my Sony a6500, and that gives some pretty decent sound too. You can see here I've got 2 lights set up. So these are studio lights, but we'll just go back to the main camera, and we're back. So yeah, I've got the lights up here and here. As you can see that the umbrella light is casting a bit of light over here. This is just to balance out from the light coming in from the window and just sort of make me a little bit more even. You don't need studio lights when you first start out. You can just use the light coming in from the window. So let's just move over to the window and I'll show you just using natural window light that's coming in. So here we are sat by the window. This is just using the natural light from outside. We've got a mirror just over here. Actually, I'll just turn you. So we've got the mirror here, which is reflecting the light that's just coming from the window there. So yeah, you can just use the natural light. I've got these LED lights. I got this one here and this one here. It just adds that little bit of extra oomph to the background. These are like 25 bucks off of Amazon, so it's pretty simple. And yeah, still got the mic set up. I've got it on So the lav mic is balanced on a tripod just down here. And this is a very simple, effective setup if you're wanting just to create YouTube videos like this, just talking to the camera. We've got the natural light here reflecting from a window here, and obviously these two LED lights, and yeah, the setup I showed you before. Another piece of equipment that I do really hold in high regard for filming or starting out on YouTube is the GoPro. This is a GoPro Hero 7 Black. The GoPro Hero 8 Black is out, and that's supposed to be even better than this one. As someone who is new to making YouTube videos and just filming themselves in general, there are three things I absolutely love about using the GoPro. And number one is the infinity focus. So basically that means that everything up front, so your face, and everything behind you is going to be in focus, so you never have to worry that when you come back to your footage to start editing that your face is going to be blurry and you're going to have to just bin all the footage and refilm everything. The second thing I love is the hyper smooth function that the GoPro has introduced, which basically means that it will cut out a lot of the wobble, so your videos won't look like this and you won't have to again delete the footage. No one's going to watch a really wobbly vlog for more than a couple of minutes before they switch off. So vlogging with the GoPro is an absolute dream. And the third thing I love is that just how small it is and how versatile and how tough it is. It means that you can take it anywhere from scuba diving to snowboarding to whatever, but you can also be very creative with your camera angles. And yeah, it's just a fantastic creative tool as a beginner, so you can just start learning different shots and just experimenting really easily without worrying that you're going to destroy your camera equipment. You can take it out in the rain.
We've been waiting for rain for so long, and we got it. We got what we wished for.
And you can do shots like this. You can put it in the fridge. You can put it in receptacles. You can hang it on the ceiling. You can take it wherever you go. And that's the wonderful thing about the GoPro, is that it's so versatile and it's tough, it's sturdy. You never really have to worry about it breaking or getting wet because it's waterproof. It's designed to be tough and designed to be taken out and used basically. So if you're starting out, the GoPro is a fantastic piece of equipment that you can use because you can have it on you all the time without ever having to worry that you're going to break it or damage it. I think it was Casey Neistat that said the best camera is the one you have on you. So a GoPro you will always have on you. And like I say, the picture quality is fantastic, the sound's fantastic. It's a bit windy now, so I'm not sure if there's going to be any wind on this, but you get the point. And it can also do things like this. So that's nice. Yeah, I mean, it's got the feature, so that's what counts really, isn't it? I think a lot of mobile phones have these features, but the GoPro can do it as well. It's small, it's compact, same thing, but it's sturdy, brilliant. Yeah, just highly recommend it. And the 8, I haven't tried the 8, but the 8 will be good as well. As you can tell, the sound is pretty good coming out of this thing. And this is the inboard microphone, so yeah, you don't have to buy anything extra if you don't want to. Right, let's head home. I will tell you about all the settings I use on the GoPro and also on the mobile phone for getting the best quality for YouTube. See you there. And we're back, and that was the GoPro. I highly recommend the GoPro. I think it's fantastic for beginners, but we're back filming on the mobile phone and onto the settings. The settings I use across the board for all cameras, so I keep everything exactly the same. For the GoPro, for the mobile phone, and for my Sony a6500, and that is 1080p filming in full HD, so it's 1080p at 30 frames a second. Basically, what you need to know is if you're in the UK, Europe, Asia, Australia or New Zealand, you want to be filming at 25 frames a second, check your region settings, it should be set to 50 Hz. 25 frames a second, 50 hertz, it's going to eliminate any flashing lights in the background. So you might see some flickering from lights. That is because you've got it set to the wrong region settings. If you're in the US or Canada, set it to 60 hertz and you're filming at 30 frames or 60 frames a second. I'm in Australia and I film at 30 frames a second because I'm a rogue, but yeah, I'll make a longer video explaining what the different region settings do and mean. But as a beginner, 1080p Full HD, 30 frames a second if you're in the States or Canada. Everywhere else, 25p is absolutely perfect. The reason I keep these settings identical across all my cameras is that when I move all the footage into my editing software, your editing software wants to know how many frames a second to set up your editing timeline. Here you can just set it to a 30 frames a second or 25 frames a second timeline and all your footage will be consistent. So that just makes life a hell of a lot easier. So let's just go over the settings that I'm using on the phone right now. I'm filming in Full HD at 1080p. I'm filming at 30 frames a second. I've got an ISO of 100 and my shutter speed is set to 1/100th of a second. I've got the focus set to continuous autofocus and the white balance is set to auto white balance. If you stick with that, you can't really go wrong when you first start out filming, although you might need to change your ISO if you're filming in a darker environment. On an additional note, if you're wanting to film in slow motion, then you're going to need to set your frame rate to 120 frames a second if you're in the US or Canada, or 100 frames a second if you're in the PAL region. So yeah, just go out and experiment with slow motion filmmaking. Slow motion animals is pretty good fun. Yeah, just jump around, jump in puddles, whatever you do. Yeah, it's really good fun. Highly recommend it. So there we go, guys. That's pretty much it. There are links in the description below to all the equipment that I've shown you today. They are affiliate links, so if you make a purchase through those links, I will receive a small commission. Thanks a lot, guys. And yeah, just get out there, start creating. I hope you got some value out of this. If you did, then hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. If you have any comments or have anything that I've missed, then please put in the comments below. This is, again, a complete fresh beginner's guide. You know, some tips for if you have no idea about filmmaking. Yeah, this is it. This is the basics of the basics. So this isn't supposed to be advanced or like anything advanced at all. But yeah, I hope you liked it. I hope you got some value out of it. Go out and start creating. Let me know what you're filming on. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.